3 mystery box rounds. 2 art teachers, just one chance to create frame-worthy artwork. Who will make their mark? The challenge? Art teachers just like you tackle lesson planning with a mystery box filled with unexpected surprises. Who will stand out? There are 3 rounds: the Bellringer, the art project, and the closure activity. Each lesson component comes with its own box of mystery art supplies. You must use all of the supplies in some way. Also available to you, anything you can locate in your art room or your art closet. You must use every mystery box supply in some way and transform that item.
Ready to make some art? Yeah, I'm ready.
At the end, you'll reflect and evaluate yourself on your successes, challenges, and creativity. Will your students create frame-worthy artworks, or will you need to reframe for next time?
I am stoked to open this up.
Welcome to the Art of Education's Framed, the ultimate art teacher showdown where creativity is key and the transformation of materials is the only way to survive. I'm your host, Jonathan Jervich, and in today's episode, we have 2 art teachers who are going to explore nature. Nature, it has wooed artists since the dawn of time, but our understanding of nature is driven so much by our own context. For some of us, this means a desert landscape. For others, crunchy fall leaves underfoot. Or for others, a mysterious ocean teeming with animals. A theme like nature is so broad that how an artist, or of course art student, brings the word to life says so much about their own experiences with the world. How beautiful is that?
Let's do this. Hi, art teachers. My name is Kristen Bourdier. I'm a middle school art teacher in the suburbs of Dallas, Texas. When I was teaching general education, I did a lot of artsy, craftsy things with my students, and I saw in the results that they did a really good job, so I thought I really need to be an art teacher. I think what makes me stand out from other art teachers is how I balance teacher direction and student choice. But I definitely guide them and help them through so that they feel confident and strong in what they're doing. I've been seeing more and more of Meagan's posts on Instagram, and she's such a great art teacher. Her kids are amazing. I'm so excited about this.
Hi, art teachers. I'm Meagan Carloss, an elementary art teacher located in Naperville, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. My school is home to a dual language program, which is an absolutely amazing opportunity to see students learning in both Spanish and in English. I fell in love with visual arts as a very young child. I knew since those days that I wanted to be an artist. I took every single art class you could possibly think of and fit into my schedule. Shout out Mrs. Hardy. She let me come in during lunch, let me stay after school, and it was truly an amazing space for me and a great outlet. One thing that is different about me is I bring the energy. We are gonna have a ton of fun no matter what we're doing. I'm bringing my passion into these lessons. I am so stoked to be working with Kristen on this challenge. She's an amazing art teacher and we actually have a lot in common. We both love making earrings. I am really crossing my fingers that there are no magazines in here because her collage skills are unmatched.
These kids I'm working with are super talented, so we got this.
I've heard that competition can drive creativity, so let's see what we've got up our sleeves.
I'm ready.
All right, round 1 is our Bellringer activity.
I have been waiting to find out what's in here.
Let's see what's inside.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
There's nothing in this.
Meagan and Kristen, for this round you have
Crayons.
tracing paper or wax paper,
Scissors.
and your wild card item is rainbow flower petals.
Okay, what?
I'm gonna make a mess.
Meagan, you will have the organic versus geometric shapes resource. And Kristen, you will have the nature design silhouettes resource.
Okay, I think we can work with this. I've been thinking about those silk flowers and all of the required materials. I have so much stuff saved in my closet. I think I've been training my whole life for this. I think this should get us started. We have been learning about texture in Art 1. I think we could do something with this with texture. Maybe take a rubbing of it, paint dabbing. I think tracing paper could be a really cool texture as well. You could crumple it up to make texture. Crayons, of course, with wax resist, that's gonna create like a textured effect with watercolor. Or we'll just use the crayons to take the texture rubbing.
Make sure you subscribe for more fun and inspiring art teacher videos just like this one. And comment down below with what you would do with the mystery box items in this episode.
Let's do some brainstorming. To me, this is giving like a collage. Let's just say one of the students was gonna make a fish. They would glue this on their paper and then transform it into an underwater scene. Of course, they will need to incorporate geometric and organic shapes into their little scene.
Something that we're coming across is some people were a little confused about painting the newsprint, and they're starting to add patterns and stuff rather than it just being abstract. But I think we can use a fabric, maybe like cut it into strips and put that across the back. My fear was that the pattern would be too much, but I think that we can like pivot and use those fabric pieces, and that will work really well.
For the Bellringer activity, students are going to create an underwater scene. So they will use geometric and organic shapes within their scene. They will need to cut and glue some items on there. So I'm super excited to see what those underwater scenes look like with all these fun materials.
Kristen, you said it. There are so many great textures in nature. And what a way to explore the connections between art and nature. Meagan, you mentioned something that almost every single one of our contestants in each episode has mentioned. They end up taking the Bellringer into a whole class period art project. Timing is hard, isn't it?
They're just all coming up with completely different ideas for how to use the materials and how to arrange things. I just love how creative they're being.
I feel like round one went super well. It was very fun to see what students created. They made plants and fish out of them, then jellyfish. The only thing about this round is that it definitely took a little longer than a normal Bellringer. I only see the kids once a week. This is something that we wouldn't be able to do as a warm-up, but more as a one-day project.
All right, round 2 is our art project.
Let's see what's in here.
Meagan and Kristen, in your mystery boxes for this round, you have brayers,
Barons,
Newspaper. Not sure what I'm gonna do with that.
and your wild card item is rainbow fabric scraps.
Oh, yes. Okay. Okay.
You both have access to the Floral Imagery Mexican Art Resource.
I have so many ideas. I'll check back in. Okay, so let's think through some ideas. Clearly, I need to do some kind of printmaking. I can go ahead and make a couple of rubber stamps so that the kids are using brayers and barons to do some printing. I can just make them in some various leaf shapes. They can still use these to make flowers, and we can attach those. It could be a mixed media piece. I'm still thinking newspaper as a foundation medium. I'm liking this a lot.
Viewer, are you thinking, but wait, where can I go to get access to these Flex resources? Or what even is Flex? Well, Flex Curriculum is a K-12 standards-aligned art curriculum with lesson plans, resources, assessments, videos, and so much more. Did you know that Flex offers a scope and sequence for each grade level and a guide to make the most of these resources? Each one connects to the National Core Art Standards and features essential questions, lesson plans, videos, artist bios, and assessments for each unit. Check out the link in the description box for more information.
Time to figure out round 2. I'm thinking obviously some sort of printmaking situation. I'm wondering if you can print on the fabric. I've never tried that. And using the newspaper, I don't know where.
So round 2 is going really well. I think I'm gonna have to pivot and do some styrofoam printing with marker because my ink situation is not really great right now, and we were getting a lot of slippage with the printing. We're gonna try that out today, and hopefully it will give us some good results.
Kristen, the use of flowers and the flex resource that prompted illuminating Frida Kahlo's quotes is so beautiful and meaningful. Meagan, you really worked through some creativity block with that newspaper and ended up coming up with a really meaningful solution. Using the paper to mimic the paper used for real bouquets was beautiful.
Round 2 went even better than I expected. These kids have ideas and creative things that they do that I never would have even thought of. And the way they use the materials just came out really cool, and I loved how they were all really different.
Here is how the lesson from round 2 turned out. It went super well doing the printing because then they were able to share their styrofoam to get different prints for the flowers. The fabric was a little tricky for them to cut, and the newspaper was a little tricky for them to figure out this cool fold. Overall, it went really well. Everyone was successful.
All right, round 3, our final round.
Okay.
What is in here?
You have
Bulletin board or butcher paper.
Bingo daubers or jumbo markers.
permanent markers and your wild card item, puzzle pieces.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
For elementary, we have critique guide, I wonder. And for secondary, we have constructive critique. All right, let's go.
I have these puzzle pieces. I'm seeing the whole rainbow. I think we do a color activity. They're gonna sort these into different color schemes. Color wheel, primaries and secondaries, warm and cool. I put out butcher paper on each table. I use bingo daubers to divide the butcher paper into sections. The permanent markers they can use for labeling their color schemes and what they created. Maybe there could even be like a creativity section where they have to make their own thing that's not just a color scheme. And then they can all critique each other. I think I can make this work.
I have some really fun things up my sleeve for this one. Students will either blindly choose one of these, or if the students are older, you can say, okay, everyone who has a primary color, meet up. Then on a huge butcher paper, we're going to go through some of these questions with a partner who has the matching puzzle piece. And then they can use either permanent markers or the bingo daubers to write their answers. Never used puzzle pieces in art class before. How fun.
Kristen, you said it. There's sometimes such beauty in simplicity. They were able to group and sort and connect with these puzzle pieces. Imagine the possibilities into the future with using the pieces to create color schemes before the art making, or to identify the colors they used after the art making. Meagan, your use of the puzzle pieces to group students for reflection looks like it turned out so well. What a great strategy for getting students to meet up and discuss artwork with other kids in the classroom instead of always defaulting to the kids that they're sitting next to at their table.
Round 3 went really well. I loved just the simplicity of having them sort the puzzle pieces. We did a little critique and they had some very good things to say based on all of our learning throughout the year of all the elements. I'm really proud. They did great.
We used all of those items in a super fun activity that I would definitely recommend to anyone who's teaching art and wrapping up a lesson. It was a fun way to get students moving and reflecting on their artwork.
Overall, I think these 3 rounds went really well. My favorite was round 2. It's actually something that I'm going to continue to do in the future. Really excited to add it to my normal lesson rotation.
I love being a part of this. It was so fun, and I can't wait to see what the other teachers come up with.
We have come to the end of this nature episode, and there is no way we could ever pick a winner. Both Meagan and Kristen created framed masterpieces. You know what? You both are winners! Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode of High Stakes Lesson Planning Fun. Every masterpiece needs a frame, and we can't wait to see who will stand out.